Oh boy, here we go. Okay, moving. I want to talk about moving because I'm in the process of moving right now. And yeah, I want to talk about it. Yeah. Um so moving can be hard depending on your situation. If you have a really good situation, you and it's unwanted move, then it can lead to depression and anxiety and it can be really hard. But if you have like a really bad situation, moving can lead to something better. So it's really up to you, like up to the person, whether moving is good for them or bad for them, but we don't always get to choose if we want to move or not. From what I've noticed, teenagers and young adults are most susceptible to depression and anxiety when moving or like having an unwanted move, and it's often them that move. But I want you to know that when moving, it's gonna get better. You just need to give it a shot. Like, give it the place a chance. You never know. Like, if you think it's gonna be bad, it's gonna be bad because you have all these negative emotions inside of you, and it's gonna trigger more negative. So, lately in my life, I've been moving a lot. When I was younger, when I was like itty bitty small child, yeah, I was moving a lot. I was moving like every 6 months. Like, moved 3 or 4 times. And then we moved to this one place. We stayed there. My family stayed there for 10 years. And, well, my dad's work had been sold, and we had to move because we couldn't afford to live in that area. Because it was kind of an expensive area. It wasn't a rich area, it was expensive. And we were looking around, like my dad was looking for work, and she didn't have to work because my dad provided for all of us. So my dad was looking around for work, and there were no open positions in our area, so we knew we had to move away from our area. Like, we knew we had to move away from that house, but now we also had to move away from the area we were used to. We were thinking like, oh yeah, no. This was back in Norway, so we were thinking like, oh yeah, maybe no, we'll move to, the capital. Because a lot of work is there or something. But suddenly he gets an offer from a job in the US. And we were like, what? Because this happened on my birthday on the summer of 2017. So we all had to sit down, and suddenly it got really tense. And so he sits down and he says, there's something we need to talk about. Well, he tells us the company he works for had been sold, and the new company offered him a job, but it was in the US. So he asked us if it was okay if we moved to the US. And, well, of course, being the little adventurer I was like, yeah, let's move to the US. Yeah, such a good idea, right? So, well, we moved countries. Well, we moved continents. And we arrived in the US. It was completely different. Like, what is up with the US? And yeah, that's what I want to say. Like, that's my story of moving. So now I'm in the process of moving back to Norway to go to school because free education. But the thing is, I was at a really good point in my life when we moved from Norway. It was because we moved a year after my dad said he'd be moving, or we'd be moving. So I was at a really good point in my life, and, well, I had to move from all these amazing friends I'd made. It was actually really easy because I thought like, oh yeah, no, I'd keep contact and talk to them like every day, and, well, yeah, no, because everyone has their own life. And there's a 7-hour time difference. When I go to school, they get home from school. When I get home from school, they go to bed. When they wake up, I am asleep. So I lost contact with a couple of them. Like, a couple I wanted to lose contact with. It was mostly them I lost contact with. Even though this happened 3 years ago, I still am talking to like 90% of them. What I want to say is keep contact. Like, but you have to put in effort to keep contact. You can't just be like, oh yeah, no, keep contact. We'll keep contact. You have to put in effort to keep contact. And oh wow, this became okay. You know what, I think I'm gonna stop here because this became a lot more serious than what I thought. My point is that you shouldn't be negative just because you moved. There are ways to keep contact. You're still gonna be talking to people you knew from place before, and if it's better for you to move, then don't be sad. The new place you're moving to is gonna be better for you. That's what I wanted to get across. I'm sorry, this became like a lot more serious than I was anticipating. So yeah, thank you for watching. Even though no one is watching except like 3 people. Thank you, 3 people. I appreciate it. Okay, bye.